शंकर की शक्ति माँ।
तो भातों से भाग जगाते, भागे भागे आते हैं माँ। कितना प्यार जगाते हैं माँ, तेरी ममता कितनी प्यारी, कितना प्यार जगाती है माँ, कितना प्यार जगाती है।
तेरी ममता कितनी प्यारी, कितना प्यार जगाती है माँ, कितना प्यार जगाती है।
तू काली महाकाली दुर्गा, तू है बाल भवानी माँ। तू पुराण का सार शारदा, तू वेदों की वाणी है।
तू काली महाकाली दुर्गा, तू ही बाल भवानी माँ। तू पुराण का सार शारदा, तू वेदों की वाणी है।
तू बालक को गोद में लेकर जीवन गीत सुनाते हैं माँ। कितना प्यार जगाते हैं माँ, तेरी ममता कितनी प्यारी, कितना प्यार जगाती है माँ, कितना प्यार जगाती है।
माँ तेरी ममता कितनी प्यारी, कितना प्यार जगाती है माँ, कितना प्यार जगाती है।
माँ कितना प्यार जगाती है माँ, कितना प्यार जगाती है।
नंद नंद गोपाल, आनंद नंद गोपाल।
नंद नंद गोपाल, आनंद नंद गोपाल।
हे नंद नंद गोपाल, आनंद नंद गोपाल।
नंद नंद गोपाल, आनंद नंद
नंद आनंद नंद यदु नंद नंद गोपाल नंद नंद आनंद नंद यदु नंद नंद गोपाल नंद नंद गोपाल आनंद नंद गोपाल नंद नंद गोपाल आनंद नंद गोपाल नंद नंद गोपाल आनंद नंद गोपाल नंद नंद आनंद नंद यदु नंद नंद गोपाल नंद नंद आनंद नंद यदु नंद नंद गोपाल नंद नंद गोपाल आनंद नंद गोपाल नंद नंद गोपाल आनंद नंद गोपाल आनंद नंद गोपाल आनंद नंद गोपाल आनंद नंद गोपाल
बोली श्री वृंदावन बिहारी लाल की जय सत्य सनातन धर्म की जय Cordial welcome to all who are present at the mandir this morning, as well as all who are joining with us online today as we engage in our Sunday morning devotion. This morning we have completed the Gita Mata Shri Krishna Bhagwan Puja, and at this time we will be engaging in Mantra Jap Havan, so we can all join in recitation of Swaha as we join with our principal devotee in making offerings into the Havan. Firstly, pass the water. Hari Om Mandakinyastu Yadavari Sarva Papaharam Shubham Taridam Kalapitam Devam Samyagya Achmanyatvam Tvayati Achmanyam Samarpayami. We all recite Swaha together. Om Shri Ganesh Devtabhyo Namah Swaha. Om Ganganapataye Namah Swaha. Om Ganganapataye Namah Swaha. Shri Gauri Mataye Namah Swaha. Shri Shankar Bhagwan Bhyo Namah Swaha. Shri Agni Devta Bhyo Namah Swaha. Shri Kalash Devta Bhyo Namah Swaha. Shri Varuna Devta Bhyo Namah Swaha. Shri Mahalakshmi Mataye Namah Swaha. Shri Mahavishnu Bhagavan Bhyo Namah Swaha. Om Namo Narayanaye Bhyo Namah Swaha. श्रीभास्करायभ्यो नमः स्वाहा श्रीचन्द्रायभ्यो नमः स्वाहा श्रीभौमायभ्यो नमः स्वाहा श्रीबुधायभ्यो नमः स्वाहा श्रीगुरवेभ्यो नमः स्वाहा श्रीशुक्रायभ्यो नमः स्वाहा श्रीशनिश्चरायभ्यो नमः स्वाहा श्रीराहवेभ्यो नमः स्वाहा श्रीकेतवेभ्यो नमः स्वाहा श्रीप्राणायभ्यो नमः स्वाहा श्रीअपानायभ्यो नमः स्वाहा श्रीसमानायभ्यो नमः स्वाहा श्रीइन्द्रियायभ्यो नमः स्वाहा श्रीउदानिकायभ्यो नमः स्वाहा श्रीइष्टदेवताभ्यो नमः स्वाहा श्रीकुलदेवताभ्यो नमः स्वाहा श्रीस्थानदेवताभ्यो नमः स्वाहा श्रीग्रामदेवताभ्यो नमः स्वाहा श्रीमाता पिता चरणकमलेभ्यो नमः स्वाहा श्रीपंचपालदेवताभ्यो नमः स्वाहा श्रीदशदिक्पालदेवताभ्यो नमः स्वाहा श्री आदिशक्ति दुर्गा माताये नमः स्वाहा श्री अरुन्धती देवीभ्यो नमः स्वाहा श्री भद्रकाली देवीभ्यो नमः स्वाहा श्री संतोषिनी देवीभ्यो नमः स्वाहा श्री रुद्राणी देवीभ्यो नमः स्वाहा श्री ब्रह्माणी देवीभ्यो नमः स्वाहा श्री परमेश्वरी देवीभ्यो नमः स्वाहा श्री अंबिके देवीभ्यो नमः स्वाहा श्री चंडिके देवीभ्यो नमः स्वाहा ओम ऐं सरस्वती माताये नमः स्वाहा श्री रामचंद्रभ्यो नमः स्वाहा श्री कृष्ण भगवानभ्यो नमः स्वाहा श्री गीता माताभ्यो नमः स्वाहा श्री हनुमते देवताभ्यो नमः स्वाहा. About 10 more offerings. So we all join together as we engage in Brahm Gayatri Mantra. Om Bhurabhuva Swaha Tatsaviturvarenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhemahi Dhyo Yo Nah Prachodayat Swaha. Om Swaha Tatsaviturvarenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhemahi Dhyo Yo Nah Prachodayat Swaha. Om Bhurabhuva Swaha Tatsaviturvarenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhemahi Dhyo Yo Nah Prachodayat Swaha. Mahamrityunjay Mantra. Om Trayambakam Yajamahe Sugandhim Pushti Vardhanam Urvarukam Vandanam Mrityor Mukshayamamritat Swaha. Om Trayambakam Yajamahe Sugandhim Pushti Vardhanam Urvarukam Vandanam Mrityor Mukshayamamritat Swaha. Om Trayambakam Yajamahe Sugandhim Pushti Vardhanam Urvarukam Vandanam Mrityor Mukshayamamritat Swaha. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Swaha. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Swaha. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Swaha. Shri Sarva Devata Devyo Bhyo Namaha Swaha. Prepare for final offering. Those who are here at the mandir, let us all please stand as we take part in the final offering. Om Purnamada Purnamiram Puranat Puranam Mudachyate Puranasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate Om Sarvam Vai Purnagvam Swaha. Bolish Brindavan Bihari Lal Ki Jai. Pass the water around the fire. Om Sarva Papa Haram Devam Gangeyam Nirmalam Jalam Achmanyam Chamaya Dathan Parameshwaram Shri Agni Devta Achmanyam Samarpayami. Bolo Satya Sanatan Dharma Ki Jai. Asan lijiye, please have your seats, devotees. So for a few moments, praises to Bhagavan as we have performed the Shri Krishna Puja, Mata Puja this morning. It's a very beautiful bhajan. I'm sure all of us know the words to this bhajan, so let us all please join together. Ram Krishna Hare Mukunda Murare Ram Krishna Hare
Mukunda Murare
Ram Krishna Hare Mukunda Murare
Ram Krishna Hare Mukunda Murare
Panduranga Ram Krishna Hare
Panduranga Panduranga Ram Krishna Hare
Panduranga Panduranga Ram Krishna Hare Vithal Panduranga Ram Krishna Hare
Vithal Vithal Panduranga Ram Krishna Hare
Radhe Shyam Radhe Shyam
Radhe Shyam Radhe Shyam
Radha Madhav Radhe Shyam
Radha Madhav Radhe Shyam
Sita Ram Sita Ram
Sita Ram Sita Ram
Sita Vallabh Sita Ram
Sita Vallabh Sita Ram
Radha Mukund Radhe Shyam
Radha Mukund Radhe Shyam
Radha Govind Radhe Shyam
Radha Govind Radhe Shyam
Radha Mukund Radhe Shyam
Radha Mukund Radhe Shyam
Radha Govind Radhe Shyam
Radha Govind Radhe Shyam
Radha Radha Radha
Radha Radha Radha
Radha Radha Radha
Radha Radha Radha
Radhe Govinda
Radhe Govinda
Vrindavan Govinda
Vrindavan Govinda
Krishna Mukunda
Krishna Mukunda
He Nand Nandana
He Nand Nandana
O Nand Nandana
Nand Nandana
He Nand Nandana
He Nand Nandana
O Nand Nandana
Nand Nandana
Radhe Govinda
Radhe Govinda
Radhe Govinda Radhe Govinda Boli Shri Vrindavan Bihari Lal Ki Jai. As we prepare ourselves to receive divine knowledge from Sri Ramcharitamanas, I once more ask, let us clasp our hands, we close our eyes, we bow our heads. We focus our minds upon Maryada Purushottam Prabhu Shri Ram as we offer these words of praises unto Him, inviting that blessings into our lives. ॐ श्री गणेशाय नमः। ॐ ऐं सरस्वत्यै नमः। ॐ श्री गुरु चरण कमले भ्यो नमो नमः। रामाय रामभद्राय रामचन्द्राय वेदसे रघुनाथाय नाथाय सीताय पतये नमः। नीलाम्बुजश्यामलकोमलाङ्गं सीतासमारोपित वामभागम् पाणौ महासायकचारुचापं नमामि रामं रघुवंशनाथम्। हे राम पुरुषोत्तम नरहरे नारायण केशव गोविन्दा गरुडध्वज गुणनिधे दामोदर माधवा। हे कृष्णा कमलापते यदुपते सीतापते श्रीपते वैकुंठ आदिपते चराचरपते लक्ष्मीपते पाहि माम्। आदौ रामतपोवनादिगमनं हत्वा मृगं काञ्चनं वैदेही हरणं जटायुमरणं सुग्रीवसम्भाषणं बालिनिग्रहणं समुद्रतरणं लङ्कापुरी दाहनं पश्चात् रावण कुम्भकर्ण हननम् एताधि रामायणम्। जय राम श्री राम जय जय राम। जय राम श्री राम
जय जय राम।
Let us all chant devotees very beautifully that name of Maryada Purushottam, that name that is described in the Ramayana as that one who rids of all difficulties, all sufferings, of all negativities. Let us take this opportunity this morning to all chant together. Jai Ram Shri Ram Jai Jai Ram।
जय राम श्री राम जय जय राम।
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 जय Ram, Jai Ram, Shri Ram.
Jai Ram,
Jai Ram, Shri Ram, Jai Jai Ram.
Jai Ram, Shri Ram, Jai Jai Ram.
Jai Ram, Shri Ram, Jai Jai Ram. Boli Shri Raja Ramachandra Bhagavan ki Jai. Last week, devotees, as we were speaking from Shri Ramcharitamanas, we heard that Kakbhusundaji was presented with several options of gifts, Bardhan, boons that he could ask from Maryada Purushottam Prabhu Shri Ram. And eventually he asked, he says, it is that bhakti that I want, O Prabhu. It is bhakti that I want. It may seem very simple, that he's asking for bhakti. And we speak about bhakti all the time. But how easy is it for us to develop that bhakti inside of us? How quickly and how easily are we thrown off course in our quest, in our journey to acquire that bhakti? It seems very simple, Acquire love for Bhagwan, yes. We acquire love for Bhagwan, but how easy it is, devotees. When we come to the mandir, it's very easy to love Bhagwan. What happens when we leave the mandir? What happens when we engage in our mundane activities or regular routines? How easy is it for us to remember Bhagwan, love Him? In all of our activities, devotees. This is what bhakti means. This is what Kakbhusundaji wanted. He wanted to be in remembrance of God all the time. He wanted to have that remembrance of Prabhu all the time. And Shri Ganesh Chalisa tells us that milahi, sumirahi milahi, milahi sukanana, sumirahi tumahi, milahi sukanana. That remembrance of Bhagwan brings to us all happiness at all times. Remembering Bhagwan. So if we are in remembrance of Bhagwan all the time, then we're in a perpetual state of happiness. Constant happiness is there. We will not be, happy one moment, sad one moment, angry one moment, all the different emotions. It will not affect us, devotees. The analogy becomes, like a light. You light a diya, you light a candle, and it's there, the flame is just exposed. So any little breeze blow, what will happen? The flame goes in the direction of the wind, the breeze that blows it. But if we choose to put a shade around it, what happens? All the breeze will blow and the flame remains unaffected. This is what happens, devotees, when we have bhakti. True bhakti. Doesn't matter what happens around us, we remain in that state of constant peacefulness, happiness. Isn't this what we want, devotees? Isn't this what we want? But what we find happening in our lives, devotees, we are told, we are taught, when we wake up in the morning, think of Bhagwan. How many devotees can do this? How many devotees actually do it? We might try, and we make honest efforts to do it. But verily, what happens on a daily basis? You think of, you wake up one morning and you're late for work. How much remembrance of Bhagwan we have then? All we thinking about, all the things we have to do to get out of the house. Quickly. You understand, devotees, how easily we become distracted from our purpose, from our journey. So, here it is, Kakbhusundaji. He's asking Bhagwan to give him that gift of bhakti. And what did he say further? Let us hear in this doha.
भगत कल्पतरु प्रणतहिता कृपा सिंधु सुखधाम कृपा सिंधु सुखधाम। सोई निज भगति मोहि प्रभु देहु दया करि राम सियापति रामचंद्र की जय शरण। Here Kagbhu Sundarji is saying to Bhagavan Shri Ram, Bhagat kalpataru pranatahita kripa sindhu sukhadham. Here he is using a lot of what you would say adjectives to describe Prabhu. A lot of words to describe Prabhu. He says Bhagat kalpataru, that you are that kalpataru, that tree of paradise to your bhaktas, to your devotees. He is a tree of paradise to his devotees. That he gives the wish-yielding tree. That all desires are fulfilled of the bhaktas by going to Bhagavan. Is this true, devotees? Have we ever experienced this? Just this week, a thought entered into my mind whilst I was engaged in a mundane activity of cleaning snow. So this week in the GTA we had quite a bit of snow to clean. So, none of us is immune to this. Well, only those who live in apartments don't have to. In Bali. So, engage in this activity, devotees. I had some time, by myself. And, the physical activity is good because it gives us a little bit of, clarity of mind, gets the blood pumping and so on. So the thought came into my mind, how easily it is that we lose faith in Bhagwan. How many times we have heard the statement that I've lost faith in Bhagwan. Bhagwan is not listening to me. Bhagwan is not answering me. Bhagwan is not helping me, etc. How many times we have been disappointed by fellow human beings, members of our own family, friends, neighbors, co-workers, etc. Do we lose faith in them? You might get angry with them for a few minutes, few days, few months, a few years sometimes, but we go back. Isn't it? We go back. So what happened to Bhagwan, devotees? What happened to Bhagwan? We quickly lose, and then we become, so turned off from Bhagwan. Oh, I don't want to pray anymore. I don't want to light my diya anymore. I don't want to do this anymore. We turn our backs because we felt like Bhagwan wasn't there for us. Bhagata kalpataru. Here Kagbhu Sundarji is saying that he is the tree of paradise, the wish-yielding tree of those who are bhaktas to him, those who devote themselves to him, devote themselves to Bhagwan. We have to ask ourselves, devotees, how much are we really devoted to Bhagwan? That we can say that Bhagwan is not listening to me. Bhagwan is not helping me. How much are we devoted to him? Once a day for 15 minutes, once a day for 10 minutes, once a week for 2 hours. How much are we devoted to Bhagwan? That we can say this, devotees. That we can say this. Bhagwan tells us, if you take one step towards me, one step, one true step towards Bhagwan, Bhagwan comes running towards you. He's just waiting for us to take that step. Just waiting for us, devotees, to take that step. We become like this devotee who says, Main ek nanha sa, main ek chota sa bachcha ho,
तुम हो बड़े बलवान, प्रभु जी मेरे लाज रखो. We say to Bhagwan that I am your very tiny and innocent child, very weak. तुम हो बड़े बलवान, you are very big and strong, O Prabhu. प्रभु जी मेरी लाज रखो. We ask you to please protect us at all times. मैं एक नन्हा सा, मैं एक छोटा सा बच्चा हो. तुम हो बड़े बलवान, प्रभु जी मेरी लाज रखो. मैं एक नन्हा सा, मैं एक छोटा सा बच्चा हो. प्रभु जी मेरे लाज रखो. प्रभु जी मेरे लाज रखो. प्रभु जी मेरे लाज रखो. मैं एक नन्हा सा, मैं एक छोटा सा बच्चा हो. Will we all go to Prabhu's door today? Will we approach that Lord, devotees? Go to his door and seek his divine grace and blessings, devotees. मैं आया हूँ आज तुम्हारे द्वार पे आश लगाए. ऐसा कोई जतन करो प्रभु, साक्ष को आचन आए. मैं आया हूँ आज तुम्हारे द्वार पे आश लगाए. ऐसा कोई जतन करो प्रभु, साक्ष को आचन आए. मैं एक नन्हा सा, मैं एक छोटा सा बच्चा हूँ. बिगड़े बना दो भगवान, प्रभु जी मेरे लाज रखो. मैं एक नन्हा सा, मैं एक छोटा सा बच्चा हूँ. तुम हो बड़े बलवान, प्रभु जी. We all sing together. प्रभु जी मेरे लाज रखो. 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 बोली श्री रामचंद्र भगवान की जय. When we become like this little child, when a child is small, little baby, the baby can't, do anything for itself, then that child relies wholly and solely upon those who take care of that child. So, primarily it will be mother, father, to take care of that child, to feed the child, bathe the child, exercise and whatnot. Whatever has to be done for that child, the child is solely dependent, wholly dependent. But what happens when the child starts to get bigger? What happens? When the child starts to get bigger, the child learns to walk, child learns to eat, child starts to go to school, child get big, taller than the parents. What happens then? The child forget everything that happened before? In some cases, yes. In some cases, yes, they forget all the sacrifice parents made. Not in all cases, I cannot say generally all cases. But in some cases, devotees, this happens. We forget. And, some disrespect and so on starts to come in. So devotees, this is what happens when we feel like, we can do it by ourselves.
We have the power. We can do it by ourselves. We say, Bhagwan, take a rest. Bhagwan, take a rest until I need you again, right? Until I need you again. When problem come, then we run to Bhagwan. We run by Bhagwan again. Panditji, Babaji, Guruji, whoever. Check my planet, not do this. Something. We need help. And this is what happens, devotees. This is what happens. So, here is Kagbhusundaji saying, Bhagata Kalpataru Pranata Hita, that you are that friend of those who supplicate themselves unto you. Kripa Sindhu, an ocean of mercy. Sukhadham, the abode of happiness. He says, Soi nija bhagati mohi prabhu. He says, grant me that boon of bhakti, O Prabhu. Give me that boon of bhakti, that gift of bhakti. Prabhu dehu daya kariram. Out of your daya, out of your mercy for me, please grant me that boon, that gift of bhakti. And devotees, when these words were said to Maryada Purushottam, what happened? Let us hear in Chaupai.
एवमस्तु कहि रघुकुल नायक बोले बचन परम सुखदायक श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम सुनो बायस तय सहज सयाना श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम आहे न मागसियस बरदाना बोलो श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम.
When his very beautiful speech was given to Prabhu Shri Ram started to reply. He said, Evamastu kahi raghukula nayak. Evamastu. Prabhu said, so be it. What you ask shall be given. Evamastu. Evamastu, he said. And Bole Bachan Param Sukhadayak. That Lord who gives that happiness, he added these very wonderful, beautiful words to Kagbhusundaji. He said to Kagbhusundaji, he says, Sunu bayasatai sahaja sayana, that you are very wise, O Kagbhusundaji. You're very wise. What makes a person wise, devotees? What makes a person wise? How does one become wise? Can anybody tell me? Can we buy it in a store? Yes. Whatever we know, devotees, to be good, we should practice that. Whatever we know to not be good, then we should avoid practice of those things. So we practice what we know that will uplift us, that will make us better. And we avoid those things that we know that will make us in a worse position, put us in a worse position. That makes a person wise. However little we know, however much we know, we should practice. Many people, they say, you shouldn't read God Puran. You shouldn't read the God Puran. Why they say this? Because they're afraid what they will hear in there. Because when we hear certain things and we do it, now we are doing it knowingly, isn't it? We are doing it knowingly. So devotees, but it's important for us to know. It's important for us to know. Go in with eyes wide open. Don't go through life, in ignorance, in darkness. Thinking that, well, if I don't know, what the law says here, ignorance of the law is no excuse. That's the statement. Ignorance of the law is no excuse. So if you tell the police officer, I didn't know it was a 60 zone, and I was doing 85. Ignorance of the law is no excuse. Same, devotees. Same. When we do wrong things, karma has no excuse. Actions have no excuse. So the Lord added very wonderful words to Kalbu Sundaji. He says that you are very wise, and it is no wonder. Kahena Magasi Asabardana. It is no wonder that you have asked for such a wonderful gift. Because of your wise nature, that you have asked for such a wonderful gift. Remember all the things he was given the choice to ask for, devotees. He said, give Ashta Siddhi, all the Siddhis you can have. Just like Hanumanji. You can have Ashta Siddhi. You can become as large as you want, as small as you want, as heavy as you want, as light as you want. You can become clairvoyant. You can read people's mind, etc. You can fly. All of these things. All of these siddhis you can get. He was offered this. He was offered the wealth of Kuber. The amount of wealth Kuber has, he was offered all of this. And he said, no, I don't want any of those things. I don't want any of those things. I only want bhakti. So here it is. The Lord is saying the choice. The choice that we make. All of the Ashta Siddhi, what it will do for us. What it will do for us, devotees. It'll give us some power for some time, right? All the wealth. It'll give us some power for some time. Give us some enjoyment for some time. But where does it end? Where does it end? All the respect and so on that, somebody may show me during my lifetime. What happens the day his eyes close and the body gets burnt and goes? Where's the respect? Even if they show it to a picture afterwards. Even if they show it to a picture afterwards, am I aware, conscious of it? You understand, devotees? So all of these things that apply to the physical body, there's an end point. But what applies to your Atma, your soul, there's no end to this. And this is why Kalbu Sundaji is called wise. Because the bhakti that we build, the devotion that we build, goes on beyond. Beyond the physical realm, beyond the physical being. It goes on beyond these devotees. So here, Kalbu Sundaji is being called wise by Bhagwan Shri Ram for asking for such a boon, for asking for such a gift. Devotees, what would our choice be? What would our choice be? Bhagwan comes to us and says, what you want, child? What you want? Are we going to ask for bhakti, even if he offers all of those things to us? In this world today, we have so much, what they call them? Psychics. People who say they can foretell the future. So my question is, if you can foretell the future, can't you tell the the lotto numbers. You won't have to work again. You understand what I mean, devotees? No one can tell the future. No one can tell the future. We cannot even begin to think what is happening in the next 5 minutes, the next day, in the next week. We do not know, devotees. So we become bhaktas. We become bhaktas and we make the wise choice. We make the wise choice to say, if we have to ask for something from Bhagwan, ask Bhagwan, Bhagwan, can you give me the gift of bhakti? So that I can really understand, I can really practice that true devotion to your feet. This is what we should ask for, devotees. So I'll stop at this point where Bhagwan says these words. We'll hear again what happens further. He goes on further in his speech to Kagbhasundaji. Very beautiful words, but we'll hear this in another session. So we engage in our arti at this time. So those of us who are here at the mandir, you'd like to participate in arti, please feel free with the extra thalis prepared. Let us all stand. Those who are at home would like to perform arti at your altar, feel free to do so.
Om Sajan Chavarti Sanyuktam Vahninayochitam Maya Deepam Grihan Devesh Trailokyam Timirapaham Arati Shri Ramayan Ji Ki Kirati Kalita Lalita Siyapi Ki
आरती श्री रामायण जी की कीर्ति कलित सिया की
गावत ब्रह्मादिक मुनि नारद
आवत ब्रह्मा एक मुनि नारद
वाल्मीकि विज्ञान विशारद
वाल्मीकि विज्ञान विशारद
शुक सनकादिशेष और शारद बरनी पवन सुत कीरति के आरती श्री रामायण जी की कीरति कलित ललित
सिया की
गावत वेद पुराण अष्टदश
आवत वेद पुराण अष्टदश
चाहो शास्त्र सब ग्रंथन को रस
चाहो शास्त्र सब ग्रंथन को दस
मुनि जन धन संतन को सर्वस सार अंश सम्मत सब ही आरती श्री रामायण जी की कीरति कलित ललित सियपी की
आरती श्री रामायण जी की कीर्ति कलित सिया की
गावत संतत शंभु भवानी
आवत संतत शंभु भवानी
अरुधत संभव मुनि विज्ञानी
अर्हत संभव मुनि विज्ञानी
व्यास आदि कवि बर जब खाए काग भूसुंडे गरुड़ के आरती श्री रामायण जी की कीरति कले तललित सिय पी की
आरती श्री रामायण जी की कीरति कले सिय पी की
कलिमल हरानी विषय रस फेंके
मलहरणी विषय रस पीके
सुभग श्रृंगार मूर्ति जुवते के
सुभग श्रृंगार मूर्ति युवती
दलन रोग भाव मोरे अमेके तात मात सब विधि तुलसी की आरती श्री रामायण जी की कीरति कली कलित सिय पी की
आरती श्री रामायण जी की कीरति कली सिय पीके
आरती श्री रामायण जी की कीरति कले तललित सिय पी की आरती श्री रामायण जी की
कीरति कली सिय पीके
कीरति कले तललित सिय पी की कीरति कले तललित सिय गोविंदा 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 राधे राधे गोविंदा 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 राधे राधे गोविंदा बोलो गोविंदा 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 राधे राधे गोविंदा 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 राधे राधे गोविंदा 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 राधे राधे गोविंदा बोलो राधे गोविंदा राधे गोविंदा राधे गोविंदा राधे गोविंदा ओ राधे गोविंदा राधे गोविंदा 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 राधे राधे गोविंदा बोलो गोविंदा 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 राधे राधे गोविंदा राधे गोविंदा राधे गोविंदा ओ राधे गोविंदा राधे गोविंदा ओ राधे गोविंदा राधे गोविंदा ओ राधे गोविंदा ओ राधे गोविंदा राधे गोविंदा राधे राधे गोविंदा। बोली श्री वृंदावन बिहारी लाल की जय। At this time, devotees, flowers, take flowers. We all clasp our hands, we close our eyes, we bow our heads as we engage in our final prarthana to end today's devotion. Humbly praying and asking grace and blessings of Bhagwan to be upon our principal devotee, his entire family, and those he has performed this puja on behalf of, and to all of us who have joined today, whether in person or online. We ask choicest grace and blessings of Bhagwan to be upon each and every one. We all pray together. Hari Om Mantrahinam Kriyahinam Bhaktihinam Janardanam Yat Pujitam Maya Deva Paripurnam Tadastu Me. Om Vahanam न जानामि विसर्जनम पूजम चैव न जानामि क्षम्यतां परमेश्वर। त्वमेव माता च पिता त्वमेव बन्धुश्च सखा त्वमेव विद्या द्रविणं त्वमेव सर्वं मम देव देवा। ॐ असतो मा सद्गमय तमसो मा ज्योतिर्गमय मृत्युर्मामृतं गमय। हे सर्वशक्तिमान सच्चिदानंद निराकार निर्विकार सर्वधार सर्वेश्वर सर्वव्यापक अंतर्यामी अजर अमर नित्य पवित्र सृष्टि कर्ता को बारंबार नमस्कार है। हे परमात्मा भविष्य वर्तमान दुखियों का कष्ट हरण करके सुबुद्धि को प्रकाश कर कि जिससे सबका मंगल हो। ओम शांति 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 हरि ओम। Let us all join our voices. Very beautiful kirtan as we conclude our devotion today. Radhe Radhe Govinda Govinda Radhe 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 Govinda Govinda Radhe 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 Govinda 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 Radhe 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 Govinda Govinda Radhe Govind Radhe
Radhe Radhe Govind Radhe
He Radhe Radhe Govind Govind Radhe
Radhe Radhe Govind Govind Radhe
बोलो राधे राधे गोविंद गोविंद राधे 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 गोविंद गोविंद राधे बोलो राधे 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 गोविंद गोविंद राधे 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 गोविंद गोविंद राधे बोल वृंदावन बिहारी लाल की जय सियावर रामचंद्र की जय उमापति महादेव की जय पवन सुत हनुमान की जय वृंदावन कृष्ण चंद्र की जय ओरेसा जगन्नाथ की जय बोलो रे भाई सब संतन की जय सियापति रामचंद्र की जय बोलो सत्य सनातन धर्म की जय 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 सीताराम आसन लीजिए प्लीज हैव योर सीट्स The devotees, just a couple of announcements that our Navratri Yagya, after making the announcement last week, very, very quickly, the last two sessions were claimed. So we will be having the full 9 sessions of Navratri, starting from the 22nd on to the 30th. So 30th would be Shri Ram Navami, 29th is Shri Durga Ashtami. So all sessions are covered, and we'll be engaging devotion throughout that period of the spring or the Vasant Navratri. So remember that the period of Kalmas begins from Wednesday. So Holi is on Tuesday. This is when it should be celebrated, and the Holika Dahan is, or what we call Choti Holi, is on Monday Purnima, right? Then Tuesday is the actual celebration of Holi. Then from Wednesday, the period of Kalmas begins. So during period of Kalmas, no full Devta Puja is done by choice. So in cases where there's maybe a death in a home and the Shraddha has to fall within that time, then we have no choice but to do it. But by choice, we don't do full Devta Puja during the period of Kalmas. So we'll be having our regular little small Havan being done, but a little discourse and whatnot during the time, 2 Sundays of Kalmas. That would be the 12th and the 19th. We'll have small Havan being done here at the Mandir. So during this past week, we've had one birthday that I am aware of, and that's Indira Gulcharan, who celebrated her birthday during this past week. So we'd like to wish Indira a very, very happy birthday, belated birthday. I was fortunate to be together with the family on that day and engage in puja together with them. So I already wish her happy birthday, but everybody can get a chance to wish her happy birthday as well as she celebrated this wonderful occasion. So once more, devotees, God's choices, grace and blessings to each and every one. I just want to leave one thought with everyone as we close today. There's a small saying that we learn from long time. It says, an apple day keeps the doctor away. Everybody know that saying? It means healthy living now, right? Not literally an apple a day, but healthy living, healthy diet keeps the doctor away. So I leave one small thought with you. Praying every day keeps the trouble away. All right, so we remember this and we live our lives accordingly. So until next session, devotees, Jai Jai, Sitaram.